Hello. So, first of all, I'm dressed as Harley Quinn right now. If you couldn't tell, I got the makeup on. So, yeah. And I'm going to be talking about the Suicide Squad because I watched it a few days ago, loved it, and I have a list. Okay, cool, you can't see it. So, I have a list of things that I want to talk about. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, first of all, this is my first video on a DC movie. I've only ever seen Suicide Squad and The Suicide Squad, but I'm planning on watching, like, all the DC movies soon. So, I don't know, maybe there will be more videos about it. Who knows? But, so yeah. First of all, can we just say this movie is so much better than Suicide Squad 2016? It's so much better. The plot is so much better. The characters are so much better. It's just so much better. And it's all thanks to James Gunn. Hey James. James, if you're watching this, he's the reason that this movie is so great. He's the director, if you don't know. And he just kills everything he does. And he directed Guardians of the Galaxy, which is also great. And he's just incredible. And I don't know how he does it. The horribly beautiful mind of James Gunn, as the trailer said. He's just he's got a real thinker up there. And so yeah, get it, King. You're doing everything. You're doing the most. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way, because he really did it. He did that. So yeah. Now, basically what I want to talk about the most is just the characters. I'm not going to be going too deep into the plot because I've pretty much already said what I need to say. The plot was well done. It was it was very nice. It flowed very well. And I thought it was real fun. So yeah. Okay. Basically, I'm just going to go down the list of all the characters of the Suicide Squad members and say what I think about them. But quick disclaimer, a lot of these characters died within the first 10 minutes, so I don't have real opinions about them. So if I say that I don't have a strong opinion about a character, that's probably why. So yeah. But first we have Harley Quinn, which clearly I love. Her character is so, I guess, just so well written, because it's not she's not stupid. She's not stupid, but she has that not dumb blonde, I guess, I don't know, that kind of character, but she's so smart, and she has a lot of real moments, and I just love her. So what else is there to be said? I just love her. And then we have Rick Flag. Rick is just, I feel like I don't have that strong opinion about him, but he is just so done with all of them. He's just okay, let's get this over with. In the part where he's these are your brothers and sisters for the next few days. It's just he has big dad energy, I guess. Yeah. So yeah. By the way, I will be talking about all the deaths after this, because Mr. Rick did not survive. So, okay. Next we have Captain Boomerang. I don't really care about him. He's funny. He's Australian, and he has boomerangs, hence the name Captain Boomerang. He does his thing, and he does it well. But he did die, so that's rough. Bloodsport. Bloodsport, again, he wasn't one of my favorite characters, but I definitely liked him. Like, I didn't dislike him. I thought, the whole thing with him and Ratcatcher 2, I thought that was really sweet. The thing with him and his daughter, that was also very sweet, in the way that he was, like, trying to protect Ratcatcher because she was, kind of, like, he saw similarities between her and his daughter. It was all very sweet, and, yeah. Also, can I just say, James Gunn, hey James, because I know you're watching, the way that he did all the, like, backstories, specifically for Ratcatcher and Bloodsport, because the way he tied them in together with the rats, but they were, like, completely separate, was so good. It was really good. And I genuinely do not know how James did it, where he, like, everyone had their own moments. Like, Harley had her whole thing where she was like, am I a princess? Which was really cute. And then there was, like, the whole Ratcatcher 2 with, like, the flashback to her and her dad, who was played by Taika Waititi, which is a whole other thing. And then, like, Polka Dot Man having his whole thing with his mom. And then, who else? There was another, King Shark having that thing where he was like, I have no friends, and then him, like, running around with the fishes in the aquarium. That was, like, he does it so effortlessly. So yeah, back to the characters. We have, so Bloodsport, he's cool, whatever. Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man was a standout character in this movie for me, and I'm pretty sure for everyone. First of all, the actor, I don't know this actor, but he really killed it. And the way that, like, there was, like, the moment with him talking about Milton, that was really sweet, because it just showed that he cares. He has such a heart. And, like, the scene, I talk about this in my favorite moments, which I'll get to in a minute. The scene when he was like, or, like, the group was like, well, where's your mom now? And he was like, everywhere. That was bad acting, but he went everywhere. And it flashed back, and it was just his mom. That was insane. His character is just so sweet, and I love him. Yeah, I do. I love him. Next we have Peacemaker. So, there's mixed feelings. First of all, I want to say, I had no clue John Cena was an actor like that. Like, I didn't know John did. He killed it. Like, his performance was, like, genuinely, I was really like, oh wait, this is John Cena. Like, are we seeing this? I didn't know he was, like, a real actor like that. His performance was really good. And then in general, he's a really funny character. So, yeah. Also, this doesn't really have to do with the character. It kind of does. Are we gonna talk about the fact that John Cena did, like, every press event in the Peacemaker uniform? He went on, like, Jimmy Fallon. I don't know if it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know what it was. He went on, like, some talk show. It was, like, him, James Gunn, and Margot Robbie, and he was just in, like, he showed up to the premiere with the Peacemaker helmet on, and I was just like, that's a choice. Okay. It was just bizarre. But yeah, you get it, I guess. So yeah, Peacemaker was cool. King Shark. King Shark, for what he was, I'm on low battery. For what it was, he was a nice character. And he survived till the end, which is kind of crazy. He also, he got shot at and survived. He also, fell off a building. that man can survive anything. Anything. And he also killed some people. So yeah, I thought he was like comedic relief, but good comedic relief, you know what I'm saying? You know? So yeah, love King Shark. Ratcatcher too. I think other than Harley, like if we're talking about this movie alone and not including the previous Suicide Squad members, Ratcatcher 2 is my favorite, like, new character. I love her and the whole story. I love how much the movie focused on the story with her and her dad, Taika Waititi. And I thought it was so sweet, and like the way that she was genuinely like the rats really had like a meaning. And those rats are powerful. Those rats are powerful. She like summoned them, and she basically saved the world. She single-handedly killed Starro, right? Like, and yeah, I just love her. Her personality is really funny. She's an icon. She's a legend and an icon, and we need to recognize that. Next we have Savant, or Savant, I don't know, I don't care. His character, don't care about him. That's simply it. I really have no, like, opinion about him. For the next few characters I don't really care about, because these are a bunch of the characters that died immediately. Savant, don't really care. TDK, don't really care. Cool powers, but yeah. Blackguard, I want to talk about Blackguard. I went into this movie thinking, this is a superhero movie with Pete Davidson, and Pete Davidson's going to be in the whole thing, and it's going to be incredible. Because I love Pete Davidson, but he died in the first 10 minutes, and it was a big disappointment, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's the Suicide Squad, and Pete Davidson's in it. Dead. So fast. Just immediately. And I was so hyped about it. I was like, oh my god, it's Pete Davidson. As I said, I love him. Because it's like, I want to talk about this. With Pete Davidson, if you're going into a movie and you're like, Pete Davidson's in this movie, you know what you're going to get. He plays the same character in every single movie and gets away with it. But it's so funny. He's just a funny guy. So then we have Weasel. Kind of mixed feelings about Weasel. Like, I kind of, there's like a part of me that's like, oh, Weasel. But then it's also like, no. So, yeah. Javelin. Javelin is played by the guy who plays that guy in Pitch Perfect 2. I'm pretty sure that may not make sense. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. But he's played by the same guy, the German guy. You know. I just thought I'd point that out because I thought that was like strange. And then Mongol, I don't care. She had like 2 lines. The CGI was cool. So yeah. Now we're gonna talk about the deaths. So I'm basically just gonna talk about which deaths impacted me and which didn't. Let's start off with the ones that didn't. Mongol didn't impact me. Well, actually, never mind. Scratch what I just said. I'm just gonna talk about all of them. Rick Flag, definitely the one I was most stressed about. Not only because of it was a really sad scene, because of the cinematography of it. When it cut to like inside his chest, you could see his heart. James, get out of here. Like, how do you come up with that? That happened. Captain Boomerang, I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't really care about Captain Boomerang. And yeah, so I don't really care. Polka Dot Man was probably my... Polka Dot Man I might have been more upset about than Rick. I wasn't expecting it at all, because it was towards the end of the movie, and I was like, okay, I kind of see this final group we got going on, but then he died, and it was so abrupt, and I should have been expecting it, but I was not expecting it, and especially like the lines that were immediately before he died, which I will talk about in my favorite moments. It was just it just hit right in the heart. And then Peacemaker. See, I don't know if we're counting this as a death, because apparently he's alive in the post-credit scene. Apparently he's alive. And he's also getting a TV show, apparently. I guess. But his death scene, technically, but he didn't die, but, like, you know what I'm talking about. I thought it was really good with the whole, like the bullets. It if you haven't seen the movie, you don't know what this means. But, like, with the bullet being smaller than the other bullet, because that was foreshadowed in the beginning, and it's shooting him, and he went. It was really cool. But I guess he's not really dead, so. Savant. I was pretty stoked about his death, because I wanted to see one of those chips in the back of their heads get blown up. And it happened. And then it went into you had to be there, but his head exploded, and then the blood in the water moved and formed the words of Warner Brothers Studios presents whatever, and then it went into, like, the movie. It was too much. Also, can I just say, I was watching this on the most low quality online version of the Suicide Squad, so I was, like, looking at it, I was like, what does that say? I couldn't read it quite well enough. So yeah, that was also me trying to figure out if it was actually Taika Waititi playing Ratcatcher 2's dad. I was like, is that him? It was him. So yeah, Savant, don't really care. TDK, don't really care. Blackguard caught me off guard, but again, don't really care. Weasel, I guess Weasel's not dead, so I don't know if we're counting this as a death, but this also got me off guard, because it was technically, like, the first death, even though he didn't die. It was kind of like the first death, because I was like, oh, we're really doing this, huh? Okay. That was when I was like, oh, I see where this movie's going. Javelin, I don't really care, except for the fact that, like, you know, like, he gave Harley his javelin, and it was a funny scene, so, like, I don't really care. And Mongol, her death was, like, kind of brutal, but it was kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, it was really harsh, but kind of funny. So yeah, those are my opinions about the deaths. And again, most of these deaths happen within the first, like, 15 minutes of the movie, and I was not expecting it. So yeah, there's just a lot there. Now I want to talk about my favorite moments. I have 6 favorites from various characters, and I just want to talk about them real quick. So number 1 is when Harley killed that guy. I thought it was very, because I was watching the scene and I was like, Harley girl, Harley, get out of there. And then she shot him, and she was like, look, you're a sweet guy. Should I do a Harley Quinn impression? She was like, look, you're a sweet guy, but I made a promise to myself that if I ever saw a red flag, I would do the right thing and murder him. And I was like, period, Queen. Period. And she did that. And it was just really funny. Second favorite moment, when, I'm pretty sure I already talked about this, but when Polka Dot Man talked about, like, his mom trying to make him a superhero, and make, like, that entire scene talking about his mom, and he was like, where's your mom now? Everywhere. It wasn't that intense, but that was my favorite. Oh my god. Number 3, that scene, this is one of my favorite scenes, like, visually. It was when Ratcatcher 2 was talking about her past with her dad, who who's played by Taika Waititi, just reminding you. And it was like in the reflection of the glass of the bus. That was so cool. Like, and it was so like they did not need to do that. They could have so easily just done a flashback, but they just had it in the glass, and it was really cool. And then the next one is Rick Flag's death when he said Peacemaker. What a joke. When Peacemaker killed him. That I was literally shaking in my boots. I like gasped. I was like, that was iconic. And then 5 is Polka Dot Man's death, or I guess like right before his death when he goes, I'm a superhero. That was so, cause it was the fact that I was like, he was like, I'm a superhero, and then I was like, yeah, you are, and I was so excited, and then he gets smushed, and I did not see it coming. I did not see it coming. I did not. So yeah, that was great. And then my final favorite moment is just like at the very end when, I mean, this is kind of like the point of the Suicide Squad movies. It's that like in the end they all choose to do the right thing, and it's when they choose to do the right thing and they're like defying Viola Davis, or what's her, Amanda? No, I don't care. Whatever Viola Davis's character's name is, and they're like, they run back. It's so cute because like Harley has like the devil and she's running and she's like, woo, and they're like, we don't care if you blow up our brains. We're gonna make the right decision and do our thing. And I'm like, period. You do that. And so it's just a great scene. And especially when that girl like whacked Viola Davis. That was very satisfying. It's just a good time. So that's basically all I wanted to talk about. But I just have one more little thing that I noticed that I need to share in case other people didn't notice. In the credits, right? The credits start rolling for it. And, you know, it's listing all the cast members, whatever. It's like Margot Robbie, whoever else is in this movie. And one of the cast members is Crisp Rat. And if you don't know, there's been a long, ongoing joke, like between people who hate Chris Pratt. I'm one of them. Because he's just like a bad man. So people call him Crisp, like CRISP, Rat, RATT. They call him Crisp Rat instead of Chris Pratt. It's a funny joke. It's funny. Yeah, we're hilarious. And so they call him that. And as you know, the director of this movie, James Gunn, also worked on Guardians of the Galaxy, which Chris Pratt stars in. So James is like friends with Chris and is aware of this joke. And so he decides to, I don't know how this works, if it was really James' decision or not, but one of the rats, as I've mentioned in this video, Ratcatcher, she has rats, and one of them is named Sebastian. And apparently Sebastian the rat is played by a rat named Crisp Rat. And so in the credits, Crisp Rat is listed as one of the cast members. And I don't even know why I was watching the credits so closely, but I was looking at the credits and I saw Crisp Rat and I was like, oh, hold on a minute. Because I was like, why? I was like, who did this? Who did this? Anyway, just thought that was a fun thing that I would share with y'all. So yeah, this is my review of the Suicide Squad. To be clear, it's 12:40 in the morning right now, as in 40 minutes past midnight. So I've definitely just like been, like, my family's probably hearing me talk right now, but whatever. We're cool. And I'm also dressed like this. It's almost 1 a.m. I look like this. Anyway, I love this movie. It was really well done. James, again, know you're watching. You did a really good job. So yeah, that's this video. Bye.